Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing your Wednesday evening with me. Yes, indeed. Please make sure you call 1-833-275-2376. That stands for 833 Ask Afro. Oh, yes, the players. Yes, indeed. Mr. Bozeman said, what? What pictures? Yes, the pictures of the players. How are you, Miss Dickens? How are you, Miss Wanza? How are you? Please call me if you have your favorite defensive player and you tell me what they did on the field. I will tell you how I think it relates to what we have to do financially. Indeed. So let's get this party started. Oh yes. Let's start with let's start with, and I'm gonna start with my notes. I have the picture of Lawrence Taylor. Indeed. Yes, I do. But let's look at the notes on Lawrence Taylor. Raise your hand if you can see it. Can you see it, Delia? Yeah. Can you see it? Lawrence Taylor. And I want you to see my notes too. If you're still looking at him, yeah, I see the notes pop up. I'm glad you have the monitor sitting there. I can see it now. Lawrence Taylor, the best ever. He placed fear in the hearts of offense of his opponents, which means he was fearless. Because if you're causing fear, definitely I hope you are fearless. He played like he was fearless, and because of his knowledge of his job as a player, that's what we need to bring into us financially. What we can grab from LT is that your knowledge can make you fearless. And when I think about one of the biggest fears that we have financially is that fear of taxation, investments, of the stock market, but your knowledge that indeed third principle of AfroEconomics will make that all go away. So your major defensive move is to focus on that third principle. Get it from Lawrence Taylor, that third principle of AfroEconomics as well. Make sure you go in and you check it out, that we have to increase our knowledge all the time, understanding the company behind the stock that you want to invest in, what stocks, what investments are in there. And I stand corrected. Principle 4, knowledge. Indeed. I probably put 3. I have organization and planning coming up also for a player. But how can you be successful on any field, in any position, without exercising that third principle of AfroEconomics of organization and planning? Indeed. So let me share again. So I want to go back. I want you to not look at a blank screen. I want you to look at our next player I want to feature. Now, look at this. My man, Ray Lewis. What are my notes on Ray Lewis as a defensive player? Ray Lewis, I think of him as MPV, the motivator. He is to me, like when he was on the field, you can see like he gave energy to everybody else, not just him. He was, to me, in my opinion, one of the most inspiring football players ever. He was accountable to his entire team. Accountable, like he felt like his work, what he was doing was so important. And then you look at principle 6, review and accountability. Review, know what's going on your entire financial playing field, right? Just review the scene, see what's going on, look at your statements, right? And be accountable. Take responsibility and step up, just like Ray Lewis. Build your team around your leadership style. Build your team around your leadership style. I remember when I started my business, and as I was bringing in people to help me, and over the years, I've had to get rid of a couple of accountants because their style of delaying and putting things off was not part of my leadership goal. It wasn't part of what I wanted to accomplish. Can you turn on those two spotlights? I neglected to turn them on. I feel like I'm a little dark. Look at that, instant. Let there be light. She is amazing. Gosh, y'all see what college will do? That girl like, just like that. Michael Strahan. Let's look at my beautiful, look at Ray Lewis. Yes, you are the MVP, our motivator, are showing us how to build a team around us. Get the right financial experts in position. Review the entire field. Know what's going on. Now, Michael Strahan, and I know, to me, being that, like, I'm not the one that sits there watching football all the time, so I picked names that I knew, like that stood out to me, and I'm like, well, if I know your name, you had to have been significant, right? But so I know if you have, after I get through my list, like I said, 10, but I think I have 12. Got carried away. Look, but I really enjoyed it because I really do feel that we can take their athleticism, their commitment, and translate that into the financial empowerment. That's so important for me. But you see, with Michael Strahan, he's an example of that as far as transporting your determination, your skill, your knowledge, your commitment, your tenacity, your energy into other parts of your life. Michael Strahan, another record setter in sacks, but I learned the most from him in his life after the NFL. He learned new things. He expanded his knowledge. Principle 4 of AfroEconomics, expanding our knowledge. And then my man, Deion Sanders, we got to look at him. We got to look at him before we go back to my notes. Now, I love that I can just like switch on my screen and it just switches like that. So I stay in here. Deion Sanders. Somebody's going to get mad because I haven't done full screen in a minute. So let me do, somebody's going to inbox me and I won't even see it because when I'm doing screen share, I can't see your comments. Hi, good evening to you, Maurice. Yes, indeed. Thank you. And look, y'all are quiet. So call me 1-833-ASK-AFRO if there's anything that I've said that's really made you angry from an athletic point of view. It doesn't matter because my opinion doesn't matter when it comes to which player. If you're like, no, not him, you can call me and tell me, but just focus on what I'm saying that we can actually learn from him. Even if he wasn't like your most favorite defensive player, indeed, the financial concept is true that what we have been going through, being fearless, facing our fears, expanding our knowledge, being accountable, doing reviews, looking at everything that is involved in our finances, our investments, our insurance. That's how they work the field. That's how they worked it. You know, so that's how we have to be about our money, coming into it aggressively and defending our financial goals with everything that we've got, with everything. So then we go on with Deion Sanders. And somebody was just about to make a comment when I was going to, you said you are doing the same thing. You are doing us the same thing that Michael Strahan did, expanding our knowledge. So positive. Yes, indeed, he did. And yes, indeed. Like Michael Strahan, like he expanded everything that he learned on the field and made it into a new career. He made the ending of something as a new beginning. And a lot of times I meet people at transition where they're ending their career. And one of our biggest discussions is like what you can do for the rest of your life. And that's when I really enjoy being an entrepreneur, because you can talk to somebody about starting a business all you want, but until you're talking to someone that really has a business, and Lord God, thank you. I'm facing, look, in 1919, I will start my 25th year in business. Finishing it in 2020, I started the firm in 1995. have too much in me to die without sharing that with someone. That's why I have that entrepreneurship membership. I want your life to be better with me having lived and gone through everything that I've gone through. Think about it. I was the first Black person to start a registered investment advisory firm in my area in Virginia, in that area. Look, and still one of the few. I wouldn't even know who to pick up to call that's 100% independent. No, that's how rare it is. So I know what it is. I know how it is. You know, they talk about STEM and getting us into science and technology and things in math and getting more women involved in it, but nobody gives us any accolades for being pioneers. Most of the time when they're acknowledging pioneers, the people that are taking that chance and taking the energy, you know, and having this fight and to defend your goals and to defend your community. Nobody's like saying, oh, you're so great, not while you're living. You have to depend on God's convincing strength that this is what he put you here to do, to go through all that we've been through. So look at this, Deion Sanders, prime time they called him, prime time. But he definitely had more substance than he had flash. And it is so true. Like they can say, like you can present yourself with all of the material items in the world. But if you don't have the financial net worth to back it up, you're only another broke person. And broke is assets minus liabilities. And what do you have left over? For too many of us, that's a negative number because of the assets that you're purchasing are just depreciating purchases, durable items that reduce in value. Actually, in most cases, don't even have any chance of increasing in value, right? So when we're talking about so when I think about Deion Sanders, I was saying that I just feel that even though they called him prime time, we have to remember the man had a lot of substance. He could only be flashy because he did the work. Mean Joe Green. I remember that. I think he was like on Good Times or something when I was a kid, you know, right? But Mean Joe Green, let's like look at what the picture that I have. Where'd he go? How did I get him like way up in my notes and way down here in the picture? But I probably skipped him on it. But Mean Joe Green, the man, you know, indeed, probably was one of the nicest people that you could ever meet, right? But that's what they called him. That's what they called him. I'm going to try to get this technology out of my face so that we can refer to my power-filled notes. Means he is a vital part of what became known as, now you know this took research on my part, the steel curtain. I was like, that is powerful. But I bet Andrew already knew that. But that brought me to principle 1 of AfroEconomics, remembering what you're here for. What is your why? What is your legacy? What are you a part of? You know, your legacy is remembering you're creating your steel curtain and realizing that what you do and how important it is for you to do it. And then also, so then I want to go back to your legacy. The notes, Dick Night Train Lane. Now, anybody just tell me if you remember him. The king of interceptions. Stop the madness and take control of your finances, especially if you feel like you are losing, you know, like you are losing me. Look at my notes. Look at like if you are actually losing it, like in the game, you know, what can you turn around? Like here it is, the quarterback is like going to throw it, you know what I mean? And he threw it and he threw it and here goes Dick and he grabs it. What is that for you financially? You see your money going out of control. What can you do to intercept this so that you can save the day? is definitely not taking out one more credit card account. You know, so when you see yourself, you got this, and they said pre-approved, this great big, they said $15,000 credit card, and you're like, it's like and then you get it in the mail, and they're like, yeah, let's send this to them because they are going to be so excited about this credit card offer. And then it is your responsibility to say, oh no, not this time. Intercept the nonsense, shut it down. Don't let it happen, right? Shut it down. So look, and then I'm going to go on to junior sale. But let's look at my brother here, Night Train Lane, Dick Night Train. He's the man. That's in black and white, so you know he went through some stuff. He was like pioneering in the NFL. Now, Junior, like that is so much to him when you think about it. A 20-year NFL career, and in the long term, that we know that he's not with us anymore. And according to what I saw, like he killed himself. So when we're thinking about our finances, we have to think about the importance of getting help whenever we feel overwhelmed in any aspect of our life. And that would be with our 10th principle of AfroEconomics, Black health and Black wealth. Great career, putting your all in it. We see it too often. And then the number of people who die as soon as they retire, it's amazing. Or so many people that work hard and work hard and work hard and then get involved in some life devastating habits. We have to reach out. We have to take care of our health. We have to get financial assistance. And so many things about our money are financial and are psychologically related. We think, I'm spending money, but many people are spending money because they are miserable or they're unhappy, and they're using the money and the debt and the credit cards and bad choices and drugs and, going under and gambling just because they're searching for an escape, from whatever the pressure is that they're feeling. As I said in one of our discussions one time, it is known, evidence shows that we are under, as Black people in America, we have a great level of just underlying cultural stress from the discrimination that we experience. So, even if we want to deny it and call it something else, it's still a lot of stress when you wake up and you realize that things for us are, in many cases, more difficult than they have to be. And it's blamed on criminal activity or drug habit or, not being ADD, ADHD, and, all these different things that they're giving to our young people. So look at that. The 10th principle of AfroEconomics, Black health and Black wealth, and as a tribute to Junior Seau. And then Jason Taylor and Darryl Green. Now let's look at Junior and Jason Taylor, record holder for fumbles. But I'll go back to that because I want you to look at Junior and Jason Taylor. I chose him because he was cute. I was like, oh, look at him. Because everybody else, they kind of covered up their face, but this is like a great shot. Like I'm just going to focus on that for a while. I'm just joking. But Jason Taylor, record holder for fumble returns. Learn how to spot a problem and address it. Now, I'm not quite sure what a fumble return is. But this is what I think it is. I think that it is somebody fumbled and he, being a defensive player, an offensive player, drops the ball and he grabs it. He grabs it and he returns it, and he's able to turn it back over to his team. So he's spotting a problem and he's addressing it and he's attacking it. And don't continue, to make the same error if you're the one who did the fumble, because, you have to be the defensive player and have credit confidence, and by making sure that you are not dropping the ball, fumbling. You don't want to be the fumble. You want to be the one that returns. Like, you want to be the fumble return. You want to be the recovery. You want to recover from any fumble that is made. Having a commitment to financial independence. The second principle of AfroEconomics is self-reliance and financial independence. And that, you're the type of person who addresses problems, attacks them, and then makes them work to your benefit. Like this Sunday coming up, I'm doing a Sunday at sunrise on the weeds, the parable of the weeds. And it just talks about, like, and I'm going to address just kind of adversity in life and how we're still instructed, and encouraged to work through them. That, you can't just think you just pull out a weed and throw it away. But you have to grab the fumble and return it. Grab the fumble, you know what I mean, and start running downfield. You have to grab the problem, fix it, address it. We're not running away. AfroEconomics, we don't run away from problems. We address them. We don't just yank the weeds out. The parable of the weeds is telling you about how the weed, the problem, can get intertwined into into what your good crop. So the weed is intertwined into the wheat. And if you just pull the wheat up, then you're pulling up your wheat. If you just pull the weed up, you're pulling up your wheat root as well, because it can get so in there. So we can't just, like with a bankruptcy, you think of that, and people, have this debt. But when they get involved in a bankruptcy, they realize that they sometimes have to figure out, how do I keep what I want when I don't want to have to pay any of this back? And sometimes they have to lose. There's always, because they're doing the bankruptcy and not just reconstructing. And I feel that in the parable of the weed, it's saying that we have to see the problem and address it. That we can't just do the bankruptcy. We can't just cut it off. We can't just pull it out. It just can't disappear, because you're talking about years and years and years for us. Now, there are some people who, statistically can recover a lot easier from a bankruptcy. But for us, it is going to get brought up. It can stop you from getting a job. It will put you out of an industry like mine. You can't do certain jobs if you have these bankruptcies. I've seen people trying to run for political office, and then they're bringing up their bankruptcies and things. That's a problem. So let's be careful. Let's recover those fumble returns and make it happen. Let me check on y'all. Let me see what y'all talking about. We have a question. Read. Oh my goodness. I don't understand. My production manager, Delia, please tell me why no one can call me. This I don't understand why you all look. I know she's like, it's on. I know it's on, but you're not calling me. Exactly. Oh, right, Rwanda. Oh yes, Ms. Wanda says, amen. Getting the right help, indeed. Return for a touchdown. That's right. Is that my fumble return, Maurice? Tell me. That's right. Return it for a touchdown. Thank you. I was just rejected and pre-approved credit card 2 hours ago. I just rejected. That's right. Reject it. We don't need it. Exactly. We're paying off the other ones. We're going to have more than enough credit available because we're getting it. AfroEconomics members goals 2019. So our goal for 2019, 1800, yes, 800 plus credit scores. Indeed. Can the sound system be improved? It's not clear and continuous. RMTG. Oh, that's terrible. Let's see. I don't even know where my speaker is. Here it is. My microphone. Y'all see this? I said, yes. I don't know. Let's see. It keeps potting up and it keeps saying everything. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, look, but I'm doing my best to make sure that this sound system is not intermittent because I'm a consistent player. I'm a consistent player down the field. So let's go back. Let's the you hear me? Oh, thank you. I'm glad. I'm glad Maurice can hear me clearly. That's right. You're on my team. Let's go. Let's go. So let's see what's going on. So then we talked about, Daryl Green, 20 years with the same lousy franchise. I didn't say which one. Some of you probably know. Most of you do. 3 people just left. I'm just joking. Would it be funny? She's talking about, but we gotta love Daryl Green, no matter what franchise he was with. 20 years with the same franchise, teaching us that every component of your portfolio can stay as long as it is contributing to your long-term financial success. Principle number 9, determination. What y'all think? 20 years with the same franchise. I don't know. I wonder if anybody else has ever done that. Like, there's other players that have played 20 years, but that was like, that's amazing to me. Wow. That's, 20 years with the same franchise. Anybody else know? Anybody that did that? But that is determination. And hear what I was saying, to contribute consistently over 20 years. I have no intention of slowing down. I feel like Floyd Mayweather. Remember that last time he was boxing and they were like, oh, you're getting older, you're getting older, you're getting older. And he was like, whatever, I'm going to beat this guy. He beat him down. But somebody told me that Mayweather was coming back, that there might be another fight coming up. I know one thing. That is one thing. I don't know why I love boxing so much. I love it. I will pay like any kind of money, just sit there. My daughter was like, who's coming to the party? I think we had one guest. I was like, we're having a party. We had it, but it doesn't matter. Like, I just love to see athleticism and the determination. Do you know that they say that athletes use more of their brain than anyone else? And people don't get it. Do you understand how in tune you have to be with yourself in order to be a professional athlete on the level that these brothers are working on? It's crazy. 3 Super Bowls when he played for, I'm not saying the franchise name. I did. Curtis Holloway said, I did 20 years with the wrong franchise. I'm not going to say. He's talking about his employer. That was funny. That's funny. That is funny. I said your whole name, so I can't tell which franchise it was. I just think people have too much information. Exactly. Oh, wow. 3 Super Bowls when he played for that team. Maurice, come on, Maurice. You must love it. I like you, Maurice. And you're like, I guess you like that franchise, that team. I'm just going to go ahead and say it, and probably everybody's going to, former employer. Yes, you were with the wrong former employer. Exactly. Nobody can see it, but probably, just me. I can only see, the only person can see the chats is me. It says all panelists, but I'm the only person. So, but it's just me. I think you can switch it so that everybody participating can indeed see it. Let's see. Oh, sounds great now. Thanks. Well, thank you. That's very positive of you. We take you back on the franchise. You have not been cut from the team, MTG. Who is MTG anyway? Thank you. Give me your name. Give me your full government name too. How you doing? How are you, Mr. Walton? Oh, wow. Thank you so much. Hi, Ronald. Hi, Lawanda. Hi, Janice. Hi, Miss Dickens. Hi, Barbara. Hi, Banks. Hi, and the people on the phone and everybody out there in AfroEconomics with JB Bryan and Facebook world. It's not over yet. So then we talked about Coach JB. Yes, yes, indeed. I was like, for some reason, we used to have like powder puff football. I always wanted to be the center, like, and I guess that's a defensive player. Like, I never desired in powder puff. Like, I always wanted power. Like, I always wanted strength. I always wanted to knock people down. That is amazing. Like, everybody wants to be the quarterback, not me. I wanted to hit the quarterback. I wanted to hurt them. So that is not, I guess, too unexpected that I'd be doing this all these years later about defensive players. But they say the best offense is a good defense. There's nothing more boring than a game where they're just going, even in basketball, when there's no defense, right? And they have no backup. So my last one is the Minister of Defense, Reggie White. Retired as an all-time leader in sacks, but could play anywhere up front. We must be flexible. Principle number 7, entrepreneurship. Principle number 7 of AfroEconomics. The fearless entrepreneur, you must know your business inside and out and be excited to do whatever is needed for your business and your financial success. Lord knows, if you can't clean your own toilets, who will? You know, there's people who want to start a business and really feel that they have to, and they're not, just say they're not making any money yet. And they don't think that they're the one that has to sweep the floor and do, the dirty work. And there is no way that you can motivate your team to do anything for you if they feel that you are not willing to do it yourself, right? Like, because, in entrepreneurship, you're not really, a coach. Like, you hire people to be a coach. When you're an entrepreneur, you're the player. You are the player. You are the serious player. Look, at you playing offense and defense. You kicking and you're doing it for as long as necessary until you have trained your team appropriately. You've got to train your coach. You've got to train your coaches that will train your players. But at the beginning, you're building your franchise. It's you. You got to work that field. You got to work it. And you can be prime time, but you got to be prime time because of your substance, that you're worthy of this attention. Not because you were just able to acquire these material items that allow you to perpetrate and look like a successful entrepreneur. Our success as an entrepreneur is the service and the quality of the product that we provide to our customers, not on how successful you look. That, to me, is a big misconception. And so that's why I wanted to really recognize that the defensive players, that when we're building our financial house, that we're working a lot on defense, because a lot of you have jobs, you have money, you have these things. And now, so you've done all of these, aggressive things. You've done the offensive things. You've purchased these things. You've gone to college. You got the education. Now it's about defense, on learning how to properly manage these things, how to take care of these things, how to protect, protect these things. You know what I mean? To protect, just to protect everything that you want, that you have, that you've been able to accumulate, learning about the insurances, having the fearlessness to ask the questions that are required in order to build a strong financial house. Because if you don't ask the questions, if you don't inquire, if you don't create a team for yourself of people that are about your success, you will not reach the levels that you deserve to be. So we have to be the example of what we want the world to be, so that we'll attract that to ourselves. And I tell you, that is not easy. when you're surrounded by a lot of unnecessary offers, like Mr. Bozeman said, I got an offer for a credit card today. You're going to get an offer for buying another car when you don't need one. You're going to get an offer to go back to school when you feel like maybe I need to find another cost-effective way to get that training if I need it. You're going to get offers for anything that is not really going to help you get to where you've got to get in the least amount of investment. We all want $1 billion. We all want to have the $1 billion lottery. But if you got to spend $20,000 to get that chance at it, is it really worth it? You know, maybe $1 billion lottery chance for $1 or for $2 might be worth it. But there are right now, unfortunately, people who are taking out loans, you know, refinancing things. I mean, doing some crazy things to have a chance at something, you know, that what if it doesn't happen for them? What a huge gamble. What a huge loss. You know, so let's be careful as this lottery, you know, I will say that in closing. Let's be defensive, not just offensive as we see this. Like, you know, do you already have everything that you need? You already have everything that you need. We don't really have to make sure that these people are just continuously making the money and not giving the money back to the schools like they promised. If you have $1 billion to put away, there is no reason that any black, white, purple, yellow school should not have computers at every desk. That is ridiculous. They should have everything that these kids need. We should not have any homeless people in any state that can have a lottery that big. And that's what we need to think like in AfroEconomics. You know, like what are they doing with this? Do I want to contribute and support this activity? Or do I want to make sure that I'm living as the example, that I'm not being materialistic, that I'm not taking unnecessary risks, that I'm getting the proper protections and insurances for my family, and that I'm saving 20% of my income, and that I'm doing the proper things. And you want to invest in something, consider investing in AfroEconomics membership for the comprehensive financial planning that me and you do together. I'm not handing you off onto someone else. My staff helps me help you. That's what they do. So definitely, thank you. The quarterback, Mr. Walter said, quarterback fits my role. No, no, no. No. I want like the lines under my eyes and everything. That would have been funny. I should have put on my Cowboys jersey tonight. What was I thinking? Oh. Matter of fact, wait, I'm going to get it. Just thank you. MTG says, is the lady you spoke with on the phone when you had to pick up your daughter for school? Thanks for your presentation. I still don't know who it is. I'm just joking. I know exactly who this is. This is Miss New York City. You go, girl. Those are your initials. It's how MTGs. Sounds like, oh no, it sounds like a hotel or something. Yes, indeed. Or a record label. Have a great day, everybody. Please call me 1-833-275-2376. I'm JB Bryan, and that is AfroEconomics Live. And a shameless plug for Dallas Week. That's right. You better know. Follow the star. That's right. Yes, indeed. It is on. That's so true. That team, that franchise that you like, oh my goodness, it's over for them. Over for them. God bless y'all. Keep smiling. Stay positive. I'll be talking to y'all Sunday at sunrise. Sunday at sunrise. Be blessed. Thank you for sharing your time.